Hello, everyone. I wanted to bring something to your attention. I used to be homeless. Yes, I used to be homeless. I used to be really crazy too. I've been in and out of mental institutions. Literally, literally, I'm not joking. I've been in and out of mental institutions for years. It's the truth. So, whatever. So, yeah, whenever I kind of became an adult, whenever I turned 18, it was really hard and a lot of things happened and I was in and out of the loony bin, as they say, and ended up living with people and different people until that only went on so long until I went homeless and I had a car. I'm not going to recite the whole timeline here, but yeah, I had a car. I slept in my car. Then I lost my car, and it was just like, well, I'm going to the homeless shelter, and I was homeless. And I was crazy, and I had a lot of different problems, and I took a lot of different medications and stuff, and just went nuts. And then, I actually wrote a memoir, by the way. You can get it on Amazon. It's called How to Find Yourself. That's the original memoir. I've written a lot of different books though, independent books. And I don't really care what anyone thinks. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to get my story out there. I'm trying to get my thoughts out there. I'm trying to artistically be whoever the hell it is I'm supposed to be. So basically I'm a starving artist who's been grinding for a long time, but just trying to be okay. That's kind of my thing is, you know, I might do a lot of things artistically, but as long as I can keep stable, maybe that's pretty huge for me. Me, I'm living a different life here. I'm not living the same life as other people. In fact, a lot of people never really deal with kind of like stuff like this. They never probably have to take medications or really have to deal with anything that would make them homeless ever. They you know And there's a lot of different details there, but for me, I'm a guy. I'm 32 years old. Living my life. I guess I don't really need to put my story online. I didn't need to put my story online. I didn't need to put this out there. And it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm just putting it out there for clickbait, whatever. It's like, well, whatever. Everybody seems to be selling themselves online. If there's anything of value that you have, you can kind of put online. It helps people, man. There's a reason why people get paid to do stuff online is because what they're doing is it's just professional entertainment, and sometimes a person isn't a professional and they just come in and they just people just connect to them and stuff, they're whatever. A lot of different people online, you know what I mean? Um but yeah, so yeah, man, I was homeless. It was terrible. I've been in a lot of it. There's a lot of situations I don't even want to talk about, where I was put in. And but for the most part, I never really did anything like unforgiving. I never did anything that was so bad that I couldn't come back from it, or in my craziness, I never ended up, and most like crazy people that are actually nuts. Most of them won't even hurt you or anything. Like they're just crazy. I'm sure you've seen those people. You walk around like wherever you live. Usually, especially a big city, usually you'll see someone walking around. They look completely nuts, or just maybe plain homeless people. But there's the homeless people, and you can tell they're pretty nuts. But they just want to live life however they want to live life, and it can get pretty hardcore. It gets pretty brutal, but then you have those people that walk around and they're like talking to themselves and stuff, and they're you could tell like, hey, this person's like pretty out of it. You know what I'm saying? And that was pretty much me. I mean, I didn't really like talk aloud when I kind of I was out in the open, kind of publicly publicly humiliated. There's more to the story than that, but it was yeah, man, I was homeless and it sucked. And without getting into too much of my life, I guess, because sometimes people have parents that'll just let them, stay with them and whatever. And my situation was a little bit more complicated than that. It gets a little bit personal and stuff. So I guess I'm not going to really go on too much that, but I guess I'll just say I've had a really hard life. And, you know, for me, I just kind of do what it is I do here. And I try not to like be too crazy. Like I put a disclaimer on my videos and stuff. and I kind of, I like doing cartoons. I like doing a lot of different stuff. So yeah, it's just like I guess you grow up and you realize, like, if you look at it like a band or someone who does whatever they want and they kind of act whoever they want artistically. And that is kind of an issue too, because people just act however they want. It's almost like, oh yeah, they can just get away with anything because they're famous or whatever. So I try not to be that guy, but it is kind of like, well, I'm just like doing whatever the hell it is I want to do, and it's fun for me. So, but I'm okay now. I'm all right now. So yeah, I'm good. Just saying. I was in a rough spot for a while, man, without getting into too much detail.